What if you take a child who got bullied in middle school every day and decided that he would begin to create music? You would get Kikuo, a disturbing artist and Vocaloid that created music with a twist, using discomfort to comfort those in need. He used his past to create something you can't easily ignore. Because, for this artist, creativity wasn't just a passion, it was the need for survival. This is the story of an artist who used his dark past to create music and reinforce the subgenre of Vocaloid. This is the story of Kikuo. Back in elementary school, Kikuo was consistently being harassed and bullied by his peers. Constantly in this pressure he couldn't get out of, he started thinking. Kikuo would use his creativity to create something original, something no other kids have seen before. Kikuo would create a game book, a story he created completely all by himself, where you can go through the pages and create an interactive story through it. Armed with a game book and a hope for creativity, Kikuo would go to school and present it to the bullies. And for a moment, the creativity Kikuo had changed everything. The bullies who bullied him before called him amazing for his ideas, and everything changed for Kikuo. This game book gave him a shield against the bullies, but as soon as the game book grew old, the bullies came back, and Kikuo learned something important that day. I can't survive in a society without creativity. And from then on, creativity wasn't an option, it was mandatory. And this small interaction would go on to define his entire life going forward. Going into middle school with the idea of finding creativity to protect himself, he became obsessed with finding things he could do creatively. He tried a lot of stuff during the search, but there was a glaring problem. None of the things he tried would stick around for him to not get bored, which also meant he couldn't improve and find a value in creation. Until 2002, Kikuo stumbled upon DTM desktop music. With this app, he had full control of endless possibilities in music, everything he wanted in one spot, and he would continue to keep messing with music since then. And he would never grow tired of music. It gave him structure with the freedom he needed, something most other creative outlets couldn't do. By 2003, while still in middle school, Kikuo started making music and uploading it online to forums like 2channel. But there was an issue. His songs had no audience and no recognition. He was just submitting files into the void. Talking with a friend, he realized his songs were bright and happy. Something had to change, so Kikuo researched and studied what was working at that time. Specifically in the Vocaloid scene, he found something important. All the songs that got attention weren't just catchy, they were dark and emotional. Songs that made people think and feel something deeper, so from then on, Kikuo changed directions. But instead of copying the trend, he leaned into emotions he sadly already understood. All the years he spent getting bullied was poured out onto his music sheets. In 2010, Kikuo released his first Vocaloid song. 1 year later, he released his first album, Kikuo Miku. This was the start of his Vocaloid music, using an arsenal of unknown instruments alongside sound effects and vocal synthesizers. You might have noticed one thing that differentiated Kikuo's music very well. Why all the sound effects? Because it's funny. With sounds of crushing fruit, machinery, and squeaky toys, plus the childlike vocals, Kikuo could perfectly replicate a childlike classroom, something he is already very familiar with. All he needed to do was twist the lyrics to give a sensation of disturbance and comfort. In an interview on how Kikuo makes his music sound, Kikuo responded with, "I believe orderly arrangement of bricks is more beautiful than a jumble of stones. In music, we feel that something is beautiful when the notes are arranged according to certain rules." This goes back to how his music is on a whole different level compared to Vocaloid artists back then. In 2013, Kikuo Miku 3 broke the internet. All of his music just clicked with the audiences. This album contains some of the most iconic songs to Vocaloid history, including songs like Aishite, Kimi wa Deki nai Ko, and Shigabe no Odori. These songs became popular really fast and over time combined hundreds of millions of streams. Aishite alone was the first Vocaloid song to ever surpass 100 million streams. That right there isn't just success, it was history defining, especially in a genre that wasn't traditionally mainstream. Kikuo didn't just stay online either, he performed in person, starting to do tours across the world, for people to listen to not just his music, but the story of acceptance, the place where people can hang out and enjoy being with people alike, in an amusement park named Kikuo Land, and his tours would sell out instantly, because it involved one key aspect, realism. Kikuo didn't hide his feelings or his past in his music, but he did want to show compassion to those in a similar situation, submitting music that isn't just a declaration that childhood had many problems, but rather a unified march that told others who were struggling that their struggles were real and isn't going away just like Kikuo's bullies, but to stand up and be welcomed to the castaways. Kikuo welcomed and held his hand out to those like him. Because I knew I had fans all across the world, so I thought I could do it. To support his fans anywhere he was needed, the story of Kikuo was not just an artist, but a friend who is there for us till the end.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。遊びに来てね。